Alright, we're back on the mast float, and this is the second day after the layers have dried. We're removing the tape and getting ready to sand the float smooth, and we're going to use 80 grit sandpaper with a sponge. Here I'm using like a magic eraser, but just like a kitchen sponge would work, or a piece of soft foam. Basically just supporting the sandpaper to make sure we don't sand any gouges or anything. We're basically just trying to smooth the foam, and if you did a good job lining up the layers, this goes pretty quick. This only took about 15 minutes. There are some spots on this float where the pieces got loose on the CNC machine, and so I've got some chunks and holes that I'll fill in with microspheres. But for the most part, it's sanded smooth really quickly. There's a spot where I had some epoxy squeeze out through the joint, and I'll address that later. Basically, it creates a hard edge, and the foam block won't get those. So here I switched to just a little scrap of plywood, a hard backing for the sandpaper, and that allows you to sand those hard edges. You just have to be careful not to sand flat spots into the float, which you really can't do if you use the foam pad. There's a spot where I accidentally pushed too hard. You need very light pressure to smooth out the foam, so be gentle there. And here I'm testing the fin, and you can see some more damage there on my float, but you know, the regular kit won't have that. So the next thing here, we're taping off what will be the bottom half of the float, and we're going basically about a half an inch below the center joint with the painter's tape. That's going to keep any epoxy from dripping down. And I needed something to hold the float while we glass it, so I screwed a 4-inch screw into a block of wood, and that's supporting the float. So next we're going to take our fiberglass. This is a 4-ounce glass, and we laid it on there on the bias, so the weave is going 45 degrees to the axis of the float, and that's what lets it conform to this shape. And I'm glassing it as a top and a bottom. So here I'm cutting out the top, and I marked it with a Sharpie just above where my painter's tape was, and I'm cutting a little hole for the PVC pipe and the fin. And then I'm using that piece to cut what will be the bottom part of the glass. I had just enough glass, but there'll be a little more in the kit. This one I just cut off a roll. So we're putting that on the float, and we're going to mix up some epoxy. There's a few ways to do this, but I chose to put the glass on dry and then wet it out with a brush. But you can wet the foam out and then put the glass on top of it. But first I took a little bit of my mixed epoxy and made some microsphere thickened epoxy mix so that I could fill in my little gouges and also to glue in the tail fin. So here I'm mixing up some microspheres just to make a paste. Just add it a little bit at a time. And I'm using a little squeegee to smooth it out where that gouge was. There's a couple spots there where I filled it in where there were some chunks of foam missing, and this is what that microspheres is for. If you have any gouges or mistakes that you did in the smoothing, you can use this to correct those before you put the glass on. And then I buttered up the tail fin and slid it into the slot, and I made sure it wasn't sticking down underneath the float. And then I closed up my painter's tape. So there it is sitting on the screw, and that made it easier to work on. Here I'm lining up the glass, and basically just want it to stop just above the tape. You could also let it drape and then cut it after you epoxied it, but I just chose to trim it to fit first. And then you're gonna wet out the glass. We're trying to use the minimum amount of epoxy here. So, you know, it pays to go slow and just dab it on. It takes longer, but you really want to avoid runs and drips that are gonna make a mess of things. You don't want puddles of epoxy on here, so add it a little bit at the time, work your way all the way around the float. I started with an ounce and a half, and then I needed another ounce and a half, so it took 3 ounces to wet out the glass. And then, oh, actually, I think it was 2.5. I had a half an ounce left over, which I then used for the microsphere layer. Now, you could stop here. There I had a little excess, I trimmed that. You could stop after you wet out the glass, and I normally would have, but I wanted to get it done. And once you get the glass wet out, you can wait about 8 hours or up to 12 hours for this epoxy to gel. And then while it's still in the curing window, come back to it and apply the fill coat. I chose to apply the fill coat right now, which is a little trickier because you run the risk of pushing the fiberglass around on the foam, so you got to be a little careful. But here I mixed up another ounce and a half, and I added a little bit of microspheres, maybe a half an ounce, just until the cup was maybe a quarter inch from the top. And we're making not as thick of a paste. This is like a runny, almost a honey consistency. And then we're brushing that over all of this glass. The point here is to fill in the texture of the glass. You want to give yourself something to sand. If you don't do anything on top of the glass here, when you go to sand it before paint, you're just sanding raw glass. So you want to fill in the texture, the over-under weave of the glass with something, and that's what this is doing. And we want to avoid puddles and runs. Okay, here's where I'm stopping on part 2. I got the top half all glassed. I got the microsphere coat on. It looks pretty good. There's a few spots here and there where it's maybe a little light, but you don't want to put too much on. I'm pretty confident I'm not going to have any runs or anything. I ran out right at the very end, but I'll fix that when I do the other side. And I think it looks pretty good. So we'll let that cure overnight, and we can pick up on the bottom half tomorrow.